Can I say something? I have to clarify this on the podcast. Okay. So yesterday, Rob, you were there, so you know exactly what it looked like. And Terrence, I'm sure you were watching, but I'm just saying this based on being in the building. Yesterday, it was early, and Carolina was up 5 on St. Peter's. Mm-hmm. And St. Peter's was actually settling in a little bit, like 8 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
And Brady Manick hits a 35-footer as the shot clock expires, and they go up by 8. All right. And obviously the Carolina team account has been poking fun at this. So in that moment, I just tweeted it to be totally sarcastic. I'm like, yeah, Brady Manick is Larry Bird. And he kind of looked the face.
Yeah.
So there's been comparisons. Guys, I have never received so much hatred for a tweet from America. People were so mad. You guys know this. Like this time of year, you get some of the casuals who don't understand some of the satire. Folks, I'm sorry for sending that out there, but golly, calm down. No, I don't think he's Larry Bird. However, before we talk about the mismatch of this week, like Brady Manick has been a huge reason why North Carolina is here. He has made some big-time shots for that team. He has stepped up in his role, and he provides this calming presence, in my opinion, that has allowed Carolina to succeed. So for the record, I don't think Brady Manick is Larry Bird. However, he might be able to be his son based on his facial features. But Brady Manick, kudos to you. Look, I don't know what it could be a mismatch here, and you're right, Rob. That said, we'll give Brady his flowers today because this guy transferred from Oklahoma, and on this NCAA tournament run, he's been nails from the perimeter.
Yeah, and look, the biggest thing with him, and we might as well just pivot over to the East region now, is that Brady's. I think when North Carolina kind of made the switch, right? Like they've been really good since about mid-January. They won 16 of their last 19 games. They won something like 9 of their last 11 in ACC play. They turned it around early on in league play. Just none of us paid attention to it because we all thought the ACC was terrible. And I think a lot of people did. I think you did as well, T.O. You can deny it all you want. You can deny it all you want. No, but in all seriousness, when Dawson Garcia left the team, right, and Brady Manick was able to step into the starting lineup, I think that he was able to feel a little bit more ownership of this group, right? When you're a new guy and you're transferring in and you're coming off the bench and you're an Oklahoma kid that is in North Carolina for the first time, when you go from playing for a football school to like the basketball school, right? It's kind of hard to be the sixth man that's playing 15 to 18 minutes a night and have the kind of voice that you need to be a leader. And I think what North Carolina was lacking was leadership. And then Brady Manick steps into the starting lineup when Dawson Garcia has to leave to go take care of his family. And I think he took a little bit more ownership over what this team was and an ownership over the leadership role within that locker room, because let's call it what it was. This team was lacking that kind of leadership, tough voice that basically said, hey, look, there's a reason why they were losing by 30 to Kentucky and losing by 20 to Purdue and getting smacked around by Tennessee. It's because they didn't have someone in there to be like, no, this shit is not happening. We give up a 10-0 run. We stop it right now. We're turning this around. And I think that he's been that voice and that presence. And I think, Tio, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think that is what turned North Carolina from being a team that was talented but disappointing into being one that is heading to a Final Four and playing like a top 8 team in America.
Yeah, that's kind of, I'm sure that had something to do. It's kind of hard to speak on considering we're not in the locker room. So is Brady Manick, have they said that Brady Manick has kind of been that guy?
It's just the conversations that I had with people in Philly this weekend, that's kind of the vibe that I got.
Okay. Well, good. I mean, that was needed. I think another key point to why Brady Manick has been good has been the emergence of RJ Davis, because Caleb Love he is what he is. I'll tell you what, the Sweet 16 game and the Elite 8 game told you everything that Caleb Love is. Like, would he go off like for a great game against, guys, so many games. Help me out. So we're Sweet 16 games. Sweet Lord. Against who?
No, it was
UCLA.
Against UCLA. UCLA. You saw what he could do against UCLA, where he goes off for an asinine amount of points, and then he turns around and he pitches a 6 for 20 or something like that against St. Peter's. Like, that is what Caleb Love is. The constant is when RJ Davis just has the ball in his hands more, because then you're taking away probably 4 of those bad Caleb Love shots that happen a game, and they do happen. He takes some atrocious ones. I think the emergence of RJ Davis has just been awesome. Him coming off pick and rolls, finding Brady Manick, and Brady Manick's perfect for Armando Bacot. A little bit like Horkler was for Watson this year. If you look at Providence, kind of like that perfect 4-5 combination. One guy spaces it, the other guy pounds it down low. Like, it's a perfect marriage between those two. And I worried coming into the season, like, you're giving up offensive rebound to get some 3-point shooting, and it's worked because Brady Manick has knocked down shots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Rob, what about what? I just had a thought here. So they played Puff Johnson 11 minutes, and they didn't play anybody else in this game. I mean, he left the starters in almost the whole way.
Yeah, he's done that this year. Like, he switched to that. That's another big part of it too. Sorry, go ahead.
No. Any thoughts on that in general? And obviously, right now defending Duke is hard. I mean, it's hard. It's for those 5 guys.
Duke plays 6 guys, right? Duke basically brings Trevor Keels off the bench, and that's it.
Right.
Villanova, when they had Justin Moore healthy, was basically playing 6 guys. And I don't know if they're going to play more than 5 with Jordan Longino is out. Justin Moore obviously is out. Brian Antoine, is he going to be the guy coming off the bench? So there's not a lot of depth on a lot of these teams, but I think that depth is a little bit overrated when you get to this point in the tournament. You want a good, solid 7-man rotation is the ideal. 7 guys that you can all play 25 to 35 minutes per game. 7 guys where you know exactly what they're going to get out of them. Get someone off the bench that'll give you a little bit of a different look in the front court. Someone off the bench that'll give you a little bit of a different look in the back court, and ways where you can play bigger or smaller based off of the matchup that you're going up against. That's what you want. And we're kind of seeing that a little bit here. So the only thing I'm worried about, and this goes for all 3 of those teams, is you're 1 sprained ankle away from being fucked, right?
Yeah. No question.
That's what it is. And I'm not even really worried all that much about foul trouble. It's just one rolled ankle, one freaky jammed finger, and everything kind of goes to hell. So we have Duke, North Carolina.
Duke has those guys. I mean, Trevor Keels, Theo John gives you that different look that you talked about. Duke has that. Duke has strong 7. You have a strong 7 and Joey Baker, maybe. Like a strong 7, you're in good shape.